it's kind of funny, but to be spiritual or to be like a vegan nowadays, it's extremely trendy, and like everybody wants to hop on this on the ship. Like it's just the thing to do, man. I want the Star of David. I want the cool hat. Like I want to be down. What's up? Can I be spiritual, yo? But it's like not everybody has it because it's not something that comes from the outside on the inside. It's something that comes from the inside on the outside. And this isn't like really like a fashion statement. It's more like I won't say a political statement, but it's just more of like a spiritual statement. You know what I mean? So, but let's just say somebody on the outside looking in that they wanted to like, they wanted to really fit in and really, take that route, take that path. What would you recommend? How would you recommend somebody starts to get on the spiritual path?
Okay, so if we're really trying to start on the spiritual path for ourselves, not for anything else, you gotta know it's for yourself. And thankfully being vegan is trendy, thank goodness, because that is the start. Because it helps to strengthen the I am, which is the solar plexus, which is like your oomph, your fire, your itness. That is your liver, which is also your lover. Liver also has live in it, and you have to. Becoming vegan will help clean up your diet, because what is the number one thing that targets your liver, like literally kills your liver, and that's sugar. And sugar is put into, we know everything that's processed. And then we obviously know alcohol is damaging, oils, fats, all the processes, all the chemicals, that it kills your liver. That makes you a weaker individual. That kills all your chakras. And we just know it damages the body. And like if you got a weak liver, then that means something else is going on in your body. Or if something else is going on in your body, it's because you have a weak liver, because the liver is responsible for over 500 functions in the body. It processes every single thing that you put into your mouth. Not only does it do that, but it processes every single emotion that you feel. So the liver literally takes a beating. Like your solar plexus is so strong, like your core is strong for a reason. And if you're weak, you'll be weak-minded. Everything is just weak. So the thing I can recommend is going vegan. Get rid of all those fake sugars. Get rid of all the processed foods. Beyond Meat, not any better. That is literally just as toxic as, the Cheetos.
Honestly, to be honest, I hate to say this, but going to church from the streets, even though the church has a system that it's a horrible, manipulative, psychological system.
Yeah.
It's a part of the process. And so me going to the church took me from the streets. And when I connected with that, it's up to you with what level of God you connect with. I connected with the true source. I got close, I'll put it like that. And I got the king status. When I got there, I'm looking back on the hood like, I'm the savior. I'm the one, because y'all saw me. Y'all saw me out here. Y'all know what I was on. So now I'm the example, and the church gave me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be the example. So I would go back to the hood and do ministry. And, my homies trying to lock up certain, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, bro, that's not what type of time I'm on. And it's being respected in a love way. And so once that happened, man, I knew I was on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Obviously many other things happened for me to get to King Manifest. Because King Manifest, I had to kill King Cross. All that pain, all that, that shadow, I didn't have to kill my shadow, but I had to kill the perspective of that it was bad.
There's almost nothing else to talk about when you are really on your spiritual path. There's what else is there but being connected to yourself? Because when we're in this body, we're the most separate from ourselves as possible. So when everyone's talking about who God is or imagining God, the most spiritual thing that you could possibly do is just fast, meet God yourself, realize that God is just your individual space, and now you can express yourself way better. And then that's where you have empathy for everyone else's God. And that's where indigenous peoples were naturally at which is why they didn't treat the Europeans the same way that Europeans treated them.
And I've been on a spiritual journey since about 2014 as an adult, right? I grew up in the Christian church, and I was an avid member of the church. Like I had, I was going to Bible study every week. I had my responsibilities in the church. I was even considered a minister in training at a young age, because I was, my inclination of the scriptures was high. So, in that religion, right, I had the same diet that my parents had, and the regular African American diet, I would presume. But as I began to get older, I still had the diet, but I started to look into the diet. I like veganism was something that was becoming big in the mid teens of the 2000s, like the 2014 till now. It started becoming big, and I started to feel guilt about eating meat, because of the vegan movement. So, with me raising my consciousness, I don't think there's a way you can raise your consciousness without becoming aware to veganism, because it's a big thing right now. It's a big idea. So I had to investigate the vegan idea as I was raising my consciousness. And I came to a conclusion in the beginning when I first came across it that, I had to deal with my guilt. And I was able to surmount my guilt by telling myself that each person has a particular diet for them, and that veganism is not something I had to adopt because of the pressure of, killing animals or whatnot. But as I began to further progress, right, I want to say what really sowed the seed was me coming across Dr. Sebi. So the conscious development is a scatter, bro. It's like a 1,000-piece puzzle. Like, you don't just wake up one day, for me, using myself as an example, but I think it's kind of a general idea. You don't just wake up one day and say, I want to change the way I eat. It's because you're researching and you're doing so much different things that you start to come across different mediums that are conveying certain type of messages, and those messages may consist of certain type of diets, right? As you're searching to identify with who you are and who you want to be. So Dr. Sebi, I came across him, and I think he sowed a big seed in me about, eating vegetarian. However, I came across him in 2018, and I still didn't adopt the diet. I think what fully pushed me over the edge was the fact that I started to raise my own vibration, right? I started to come into a higher development of consciousness. And in that development of consciousness, you realize that you are a part of the universal energy that is all things, right? So, and understanding that, right? And then understanding how, I don't think eating meat is totally wrong, but I do think that we Americanize the idea. And what I mean by Americanize is we industrialize killing animals so that we can have pleasurable meals. So when I equate that, or when I take that idea and I fuse it with the idea of acidity and alkalinity, then I get the conclusion, right, that we should not be vegetarian. And that's how we should be vegetarian. We shouldn't be meat eaters. And that's the concept that I adopted upon myself, which caused me to change my diet about 2 months ago, fully to vegetarian.
How does it feel to be awake among sleeping adults?
When I first really started to awaken my higher consciousness, I was always wanting to teach, always wanted to tell, always giving them this information. The moment I used to just start talking about anything, oh, here she go with that FUBU crazy stuff. Oh, she be in there lighting candles and stuff. Oh, that's demonic. You don't supposed to be doing all the crystals and stuff. Like, what is that? What are you doing? You don't even know what you're doing. I'm tapping back into who we are for real. Like, it's so, I feel like I'm in a box that's being pushed against me that I didn't even know was there until I really started just opening the box at the time. Because I don't want to be in there no more. And
Yeah.
so it's like they're inside only a few. Some of them I'm starting to scratch the surface, but it's some of them that's like just no. It feel like I'm watching people willingly stay in mental prisons, and it's kind of like putting me in that mental prison because I'm like, I came from y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, it wouldn't be no me. But I came here to help y'all, and y'all are willingly staying in this box. It's comfortable. So I just kind of got to leave it be until they're ready.